What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Hawks back here with another video. And yeah, it's still have that very cranky voice. I'm still trying, but it's day by day. I'm starting to improve. But we're not gonna be talking about that all day because we got Friday Night SmackDown to talk about on today on January 24th, 2024. I'll say it was a really good one. Like, we got some pretty good, like, half a dozen matches in the top 5 list. We also got some very interesting segments, and also like a big multi-woman match, and also one of the matches, I'll say, we got most of them were men's matches, like including the main event, which was added on the show, along with another match, which we're going to get into just a moment of those two. But this is where we got LA Knight, Tama Tonga was shown getting in the ring. Getting into the building, and then we got Tiffany Stratton was getting in as well, like, not in the ring, in the building in general. But this is where we got Joe Tessitore announcing it. I'm like, wow, this is the first time we hear the commentator to acknowledge like what exactly the wrestlers are doing. But this is where we got Joe Tessitore who announced Cody Rhodes' appearance because he got an in-ring interview, and boy, Kevin Owens was not so happy. But anyways, what other thing I'm missing? Oh yeah, we got a very one match that was 101 in the men's division was really good. Like, I was like, how come the one guy that was competing does not be in matches regularly rather than being sparingly? But this is where we got Cody Rhodes coming out. This is where he gave a big high five to the Austin crowd, saying, welcoming him into the blueprint, the Friday Night Blueprint. Let me rephrase that. This is where he was. And where Cody Rhodes then was talking to Joe Tessitore, when Joe Tessitore pointed out that Austin, Texas is the birthplace of his old man, the son of the plumber, his late father, the legendary American Dream himself, Dusty Rhodes. And then he was like, yeah, this must be a great night, or it must be like a very enthusiastic night, like considering what city you're in, which he pointed that out. And this is where Cody Rhodes is like, but it's where then Joe Tessitore has like, what moments that's in your brass? This is where Cody Rhodes starts smiling when the fans were cheering him like, Cody, because he is a fan favorite babyface in the modern day, like, version of his father, if not. But it's where we got Joe Tessitore then asked about the segment tomorrow night on Saturday night's main event, which is gonna be like with both Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes extending their respective titles onto the hooks with the special guest of onto Shawn Michaels. But that's where he's like, yeah, like, I want to give my honor to Shawn Michaels. That's where he's like, because I can see a whole lot of me into him, like with. That's where it's like he knows a thing or two about winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles and competing in double title ladder matches, and then being the head of NXT of training the future stars of tomorrow of WWE. So yeah, he's like, I don't have no trouble handing over my championship. It's like, but that's where I start talking about like about having a WrestleMania moment and how the main evented and how to be a champion, like something that Kevin Owens hardly knows anything about. But it's where we got Joe Tessitore then pointed out the last time that there was a Saturday night's main event. That's where he's like, you got ambushed by Kevin Owens after successfully defending your title, and he took the week, which. And he was like, and it's been a final sight of your former friend. Like, and how do you possibly explain, like, we see what's in his eyes right now, and this version in general of the prize fighter. And it's where Cody Rhodes responded back with his own mic. Was like, I don't know, Joe. Like, Like Austin, what do you think about anything about Kevin Owens when he asked the crowd, with the crowd gave him their response, like considering what they did to their hometown hero's son and their other hometown hero. Well, even though it was in his other hometown that he got betrayed by Kevin, but it's where Cody Rhodes is like, oh well, it was like, yeah, like it's gonna be a mix between of anything of reactions and with sports fans, like whatever it's with Kevin Owens or anybody else, like it's like, and that's where then we got Cody Rhodes complimenting him like, yeah, he's a genius, he's a hell of an athlete, he's a specialist in these very ropes. He's like, but the only thing that hurts about Kevin Owens, but when you're faced with the choices of the easy way out or the hard way, like 10 times out of 10, like Kevin Owens, like all right, well, like the way I see it, he just loved taking the easy way out. In my opinion, goes to 10 out of 10. Just saying, this word like, so and I'm so happy that there's no referee that's gonna be stopping us from beating the brutal hell out of each other. He's like, there's no referee that's gonna give it the 3 count or a referee that's gonna call for disqualification. Like it's simply who can climb up the ladder and find the grip, pull down the championship, and leave looking at Lucas Oil Stadium or at Lucas Oil Stadium with the WWE Championship. And this is where Joe Tento was like, yeah, it's your big title defense. It's supposed to be your biggest title defense as of to date. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Because this is an actual feud everybody's getting fall into since AJ Styles did that fake retirement thing. But it's where we got. But it's where then Joe Tessitore asked Cody like if there's any messages that he would like to send to the prize vital, whatever that may be. This is where Cody Rhodes is like, like if I can look Kevin Owens in the eye, what I would be exactly saying. Like I would tell him like, yeah, Kev, like I would maybe give him a smile and I'll shake his hand and maybe like I appear to be the good guy because perhaps like that's what I'm trying to be. But that doesn't mean like that you press a button like and it's where the Cody Rhodes said, like but this gnawing and this pettiness ceases in this cope for BS like this over BS like a package pile driver like continues like which points out that what he's been doing to the likes of him right. He's like, let me remind you, I'm the one that beat the Raw reigning defending Green General. I'm the one that defeated the main contender and dethroned the greatest champion of my era of WWE. And I am the quarterback and for. And he was like, and then like, and he was like, and yeah, like you said, Joe, like I am the grandson of the plumber and a learning student from Grand Yorton. He was like, and Kevin Owens, I have no problem. Punch you square off in the face, like and right in front of your car, like where you do your little drive-through interviews, which I start cracking up because it rhymes and it kind of ties in together and makes sense because he loves to do interviews with the commentators in his car. But it's where the Cody Rhodes then ended the promo saying, like the one thing I'm gonna tell you, like before we get in our match, good luck. And there's those two exact words. Well, he dropped the mic, raised up his championship held high because he is the WWE champion. And don't tell Kevin, but he's the actual official WWE champion. But this is where then he shook his hand and thanked Joe Tessitore before he running off. But this is where then we got DIY was discussing about Johnny Gargano's match against all people himself is Apollo Crews. Which I was like, since when the last time I saw him in the square circle in the contest? But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what is your thoughts on Cody's promo and what do you think what's to come, like onto the segment on the road, on the segment tomorrow on Saturday night, the Saturday night's main event, and we're But yeah, what are your thoughts on the Cody Rhodes? Like, do you think he's gonna do what he said he's gonna do? Which I think he will, because I think he's gonna hold on to that title a little bit after WrestleMania. But anyways, this is where we got Tommaso Ciampa and Tiger Candle thought this guy, like Apollo Crews is no one else shut his mouth. This is where Pretty Deadly. He's like, oh yeah, I heard we're on our way to face the Motor City Machine Guns. Any game plans? This is where Tiger Candle's like, oh, I wish I did add some, but like I don't. But I don't have any plans because I don't have enough time because I I got I got a match against Paul Cruz, like all thanks to that instigating Nicholas the Ridiculous. Is where it is like, we believe in you. You got this. This is where he started repeatedly saying it. This is where then Pretty Deadly started questioning what exactly the plans are. This is where Tommaso Ciampa they got defensive on their request on what they need to do to put the Motor City Machine Guns in their place. This is where we got Tommaso Ciampa asked them all the question, which they denied it, but this is what they said they're going to take care of them. This is where Johnny Gargano said, that we believe you got it. You not this. I guess it's more like we say. But this is where we got Motor City Machine Guns coming out. But before we got that, this is where we got Pretty Deadly running to Legado del Fantasma with Santos Escobar kind of gave him like a deafening stare. And this is where then he was like, we're not going to be doing anything with you because we just think y'all are petty and pathetic. Even if we did came out, or even if we didn't came out, you're still going to be losing to someone like Alex and Chris. And this is why they dismissed him by letting him through to go through Gorilla to the entrance area. This is where we got the former TNA and WWE Tag Team Champions got in the ring, along with the former NXT Champions were out there as well. This is where we got the match. And I'll say this match definitely gets the silver trophy of the night, which I see what WWE, including Triple H, was stirring up. Like when he put them into the first slot. Like it shows that Triple H actually gives a care about the tag team division. It's just the sad thing, the Monday Night Raw roster is not the same because it's been felt like if anybody in the division forgot there even is one in the red brand, which partially I'm understanding why Simon said they need to merge the tag team titles, but I think they still should do a pretty good job because they still got a packed roster with the likes of the New Day, LWO, the War Raiders, Alpha Academy's Creed Brothers, and so much more tag teams that's on the Monday Night roster. They just need to start treating it like it's the SmackDown one. But yeah, this is where we got things going up away. This is where we got who was it? I think it was Alex Shelley starting things off with Elton Prince. Yeah, it was Elton Prince. That's where they start grabbing until Elton Prince got the upper hand. Body slams the one half of the Motor City or the MG. This is where then we got get tagged into Kid Wilson. But this is where we got Alex Shelley. He immediately got back up. This is where starting some strikes left, right, left. This is where he tags in his partner, what's his name? Chris Sabin. This is where he hires him to the light side, hit a double shoulder block. This is where then we got him to do the same to Elton Prince until they did a double flapjack until Chris Sabin tried to go for a pin. But this is where we got, what's his name? Kid Wilson kicked out at 2.3. This is where we got Kid Wilson counter out of Chris Sabin's Irish whip, and send him right to the right side with the referee not looking, with Kid Wilson distracting the female ref, which was Jessica Carr, by the way. That's where we got Elton Prince knee Chris Sabin right into the back. This is where they double Irish whip the former WWE Tag Team Champion and send him right to the bottom right side, right over to the barricade in the bottom right. This is where then we got Alex Shelley then started beating both of them up like if it's the two of them rather than one. This is where we got Sabin or not Shelley then chase him back in the ring. I'm like what is Pretty Deadly's logic with all due respect? Can they do wrestling math? It's two of y'all and only one of him. But yeah, I totally forgot the obvious reasons why they didn't hurry up and just jump them because they could barely fight one guy by their own self. This is where we got Pretty Deadly had a plan to lure Motor City Machine Guns in the trap, which we saw the reset of Elton Prince and Chris Sabin, even though it was right into the partial powerful force in all of professional wrestling, which is the commercial break. But once they got done from the advert, that's where we got This is where he starts stomping Chris Sabin right onto his midsection. This is where he tags in Elton Prince. This is where then he does the snap mare. This is where he starts stomping, kicking him right to the midsection. This is where we got Elton Prince. Then picks up Chris. This is where then we get the European uppercut. This is where we got It's where it's seconds and then thirds and fourths and fifths and so much more. That's where he needs Sabin right to the midsection, right to the bottom right side. That's where he stared at his partner Kit. And that's where he tags in his tag team partner. That's where they try to go for like a double team suplex of some sort. But that's where Chris Sabin stopped him and intercepted before they have a chance. Where he started hitting some chops and punches, even though he's not from that other company. But this is where he then gets pushed right back in the bottom right side after he did those maneuvers where what's his name? Elton Prince tried to attack him, but he gets flipped right to the bottom right corner or ringside area. This is where we got Kid Wilson trying to grab on him, but he gets hit with a step up insecurity by Sabin. But that's where he tags it. He gives a full, well-rested, fiery, hot tag to his partner, Shelley. That's where Alex Shelley ends some of his forearm comebacks. That's where he tried to go for a clothesline, but he ends up getting ducked. That's where they try to do a double team like with Elton Prince and the Dragon suplex position. But that's where we got Alex Shelley then did a reversal of what they got a back body drop on the Elton Prince, or no, Kid Wilson actually. This is where he hits a flatliner and a DDT or I think it was a flatliner DDT on both pretty deadly guys. But one of them kick out when they try to go for pin at 2.6. This is where we got what's his name? Alex Shelley tags in Chris Sabin, which he threw Sabin and hit a baseball sliding drop kick onto both former tag team champions from NXT. This is where we got Chris Sabin then hits a suicide dive with Alex Shelley opening it up even more. This is where we got what's his name? Chris Sabin goes for an uppercut, tags in Alex Shelley. This is where he throws Elton right into him. This is where he goes for like a Uranagi, but it's where he's like, you have a better idea. Alex Shelley must have said to Chris. It's where he's like, go up there and I'm gonna hit the neck breaker, or you just go for a splash for our skull and bones maneuver. But it's where we got Elton Prince throws what the Alex Shelley right into his partner. Chris Sabin, when he hit right into the family jewel. I'm like, oh, hopefully he's a husband and father. But that's where they had a double team drop kick onto Chris Sabin and a DDT on the Alex Shelley. Well, Kid Wilson did that, Chris Sabin, that is. But this is where they thought they had him won with Elton Prince like going for like what's that called, a wheelbarrow, like full Nelson position, while Kid Wilson go for a running bulldog, but still kicked. But this is where we got, I think it was what's his name, Kid Wilson that was doing the pineapple kick, I believe that's wow, he did a pretty good roll flip back to back with his partner Elton. That's where then they tried to go for another what's it called, finishing maneuver. Is where he gets drop kicked by what's his name, Chris Sabin. That's where we got. That's where it was. What's his name? Kid Wilson was all alone. That's where Alex Shelley then hits a gut Bronco Buster. That's where we got. That's where we got a drop kick right onto Chris Sabin. That's where we got what's his name flips him over like in a reverse snapmare, so we can get Chris Sabin hit a drop kick in the face until they finally hit the skull and bones finishing maneuver to get the 1, 2, 3 winner of this match, the Motor City Machine Guns. And let me know in the comments for those that thought about the match. But it shows a reminder that the tag team division is on fire on SmackDown, and maybe that Monday Night Raw should be taking a couple of pointers onto this show, because it's just it's never a dull moment when there's a tag team match on SmackDown, and even on the women's division the same, despite it moving to 3 hours. But this is where we got. But this is where we got The Miz was in Nicholas the Ridiculous' honor. This is This is where it's like this is where then Cody. I mean, the Miz was right there when Nick was ridiculous in his office. This is where it's like I seen what Cody's interview with Joe Testa, but yeah, I gotta admit that Joe did a very fantastic job. But the thing is, he's not the Miz. This is where it's like you want me to do it. But this is where I was like, oh, this is where I was like, the Miz is on Raw, but like, is the Miz is been transferred by Bailey, but we're gonna get into that in just a sec. But this is where we got the Miz. Like, okay, like you want me to want to interview Kevin Owens and hear his side of the story? Okay, fine. But this is where then Nick was the ridiculous was like no way, like SmackDown is. It's like before you think that you're doing the friendly visit, like you. It's where the Miz. It's where the Miz was like, what do you say? You know, this is where then we got. This is where Nicholas was like, you're officially like the new addition on SmackDown, and I was like, I knew it. And this is where then. This is where he was like, this is where the Miz was like, I'm on SmackDown. Like, are you serious? This is where then. This is where we got, what's his name? Nicholas was like, no, like, I'm serious. Like, transfer window? I'm like, I think this has something to do with Bailey being moved over to Raw. Which some tells me that's the case. But I don't think that's exactly the case because we're going to be, I'm not sure exactly the case because we got SmackDown guys who were moved over to Raw in the same night. Like for an exchange for the Miz, which we're gonna get into at the moment. But that's where we got the Miz pointing out the White Six was on this particular show on Friday Night SmackDown. It's where the Nick was like, "Yep, I know. If I were you, I'll be making some good friends to back you up." But this is where yeah, I was thinking like not only Miz has some White issues, but he also has some more major issues like. Combined with carrying cross, like in the rest of the Final Testament, which he promised the Miz if he ever finds out that he's the reason why the Wyatt Six got moved over to SmackDown, like he's gonna hunt him down and destroy him. And it seemed like him getting moved to SmackDown is not even any better, needless to say. But yeah, let me know about this in the comments. And what new allies are going to be aligning with the Miz? Let me know down in the comments down below. This is where we got Kevin Owens that came in saying like, oh, like this is where we got Kevin Owens is like, yeah. This is where Kevin Owens was like, why were you picking favorites and interviewing Cody Rhodes like instead of me? And this is where Kevin Owens was like, and he was like, and guys like Michael Cole's not here because he's too busy on Monday Night Raw kissing Pat McAfee's ass, just like you and The Rock and everybody kissing Cody's ass. And this is what Kevin Owens like, and guess what guys like Cody Rhodes do when they when they what they call guys like that you kiss ass to like. And this is where it was like. This is where the Kevin Owens was like yeah, you know, like Cody Rhodes, guys that kiss ass, like dude to guys like so-called friends like me. He betrays. He stabs me in the back. He stabs him in the back. He disgraced him and he stabs him in the back, disgraced them and disappointed them. And he's like, but no, I'm gonna right the wrong and be the rightful WWE champion next Saturday night. And that's where he nearly got into it with Matthew McConaughey. I totally forgot to say that in the beginning because he was in attendance in the Austin, Texas city, I guess you could say. Man, I wonder why they have the name Austin for. That's gonna be a mystery. That's a mystery that's gonna be solved in a different video on a different day. That's where it may have been Jimbo Uso. Then then came out. This is where Kevin Owens, it was like you're one lucky SOB to Matthew. This is where he went up and told Jimmy Uso, like, why the hell you're here? Like, like, who told you to come out here? This is where we got Jimmy Uso hilariously answer his question by saying because you talk too damn much, and hit him with a big O right here. This is where we start going for a hockey fight, like if Kevin's fighting his longtime best friend Sami Zayn. And that's why Jimmy Uso finally got capitalized him, hit him with a super kick, try to go for Usos, but this is what Jimmy Uso was he was like, where you going, KO? They say everything gets weird when you're in Austin. I'm I'm not sure if that's the right term to use, considering your boy the assassin is here watching. And he happened to have that same term as the capital city of the biggest state in the United States. But anyways, we got Jimmy Uso challenges Kevin Owens into a fight, and this is where what's his name, Matthew McConaughey, decided that, and he pointed right at the Jimbo and said yeah, you read my mind, boy. And this is where. Next up, we move on and get to the next slide, but this is one of the matches that's been announced for tonight in the main event spot. But this is his match against Rey Mysterio, let's just say. It was really good and showed that if Jey Uso could be a main event top star, so can his twin brother. And who knows, he can start winning singles championship. I'm hoping that my boy Jimbo does in the foreseeable future, just like his twin. But let me know in the comments down below how y'all thought on the KO versus Jimmy Uso. I think it was more of I would say a burial, but more of a squash than Kevin did to Ray. That's all I'm going to say. And I just rhyme, so yeah, you obviously know I'm telling the truth. But anyways, this is where we get the Chelsea Green match against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven match against Me Chin and and B Fab, because what they did to the former Hero member. This is where we got. And we had things started off. Oh no! Before we get into that, this is where we got Carmelo Hayes came in. This is where it's I was wondering if I have my match against Jimbo. My rematch is where. Oh yeah, I want my rematch clause. This is where we got. Henry Nichols. I was like, first of all, we don't do that no more. And second of all, Jimbo is already confirmed to be in the match against against Kevin Owens, so you're gonna have a different opponent. This is where Carmelo Hayes oh no, I'm not gonna trust you after that incident, that Braun Strowman incident when you nearly had him made me a dead man rather than the man that don't miss. This is where he was but that's where he said, I need somebody that's a fair competition. This is where Nicholas Ridiculous I might found a guy he may be a big guy but not as big as Strowman. This is where he was but we're not gonna find out until in just an hour. Just where Carmelo's okay, but you better not let me down. This is where then he leaves. This is where then they move on to the women's tag team match. Before I begin, I would ask you, who do you thought that was going to be fighting Carmelo Hayes? Did you expect it to be someone from Raw or maybe even NXT? Because they did say the rules even occurred to the NXT guys as well. I was don't tell me it's going to be Trick Williams, but I don't think that's going to be the case, at least not yet, because he still will have unfinished business with Obafemi for the NXT Championship. But I think who could be on Raw that could be the perfect guy that could give us a kayfabe beating that Carmelo deserved. But this way. But next up we got the women's tag match with a pretty impressive entrance for B-Fab, which I wish she was more fabulous in the ring as well. What I mean to say, with her getting more in-ring opportunities. But This is where we got Chelsea Green start things off with our time rival Mi Chin when Mi Chin got her into the corner to the bottom left side. This is where then she hits a forearm strike, knocking down the residential Karen and current Women's United States champion right to the bottom left side. This is where then she started doing her little whatever she calls it, that twerk dance of hers is where she tried, but this is where she nearly gets distracted by Piper, but she hits her with her right hand, but this is where Piper never managed to move out of the way before she can even lay a fist or even a knuckle on her. But this is where we got, what's her name, Mi Chin and trying to go for a cannonball with a shuffle, but this is where then we got Chelsea Green move out of the way with no huffle. Which I kind of rhymed there, so it's true. But it's some good rhyming I've been doing lately. I've been rehearsing that, from the last couple of days. To be add some more pizzazz and entertainment when it comes to me keep recapping matches, making it less boring. But that's where I got Chelsea Green and they try to go for a pin to take advantage of the moment, but she gets denied at 2.3. This is where she's like, "Come on, ref, you know better than this." This is where she tags in her partner Piper Niven in, but it's where she grabs her on the leg. This is where she kicks her right into the midsection. This is where we got the HBIC rolled out of the way with Piper Niven trying to go for a runaway senton. This is where B Fab to try to go for a tag. This is where the shoot sound like Mi Chin, like tag me in. This is where she got the lukewarm tag because it was not quite bringing down the current Women's United States champion. She got tagged by Piper. Even though she did, at first she was putting in a few blows or a dozen. This is where she sent her right into her corner in the upper left side. And the spinning kick. That's what she threw her right to the right corner side. She hit her with a big old right foot right to the face. This is where we got, what's her name? Wade Barrett said, Wade Barrett, I should say, compared her to Stacy Keibler because she got very long legs. You probably have the most longest legs in the women's division. This is where she nearly got the win. Maybe she would have if it wasn't for that meddling bulldozing bodyguard of the Karen. This is where we got Piper Niven, to grab on to what's her name to Mi Chin. This is where Mi Chin gets a blind tag. This is where Piper Niven hits a fallaway power slam. This is where Piper Niven's like, I don't have to worry about this little Cretan no more. There's more big Cretan because compared to how big she is compared to her partner, this is where Chelsea did try to go for the pretty herb, but this is where Mi Chin hit her with the knee to feet to get the 1, 2, 3. This is her first time actually pinning the current Women's United States champion, especially with her ever since becoming the Women's United States champion back last month and last year at Saturday night's main event. But this is where we got Mi Chin and what's her name, B Fab, raised each other's hands. Is where they were like, yeah, we did it. This is where we got Carmel Hayes came back to Nicholas the Ridiculous's office. This is where Carmel Hayes was still in the office because Nicholas, I believe, offered him a stay. This is where he's like, don't worry, he's going to be here soon. This is where Carmel Hayes is like, I still don't trust you. I'll never trust you. I never have, and I never will. Even though despite being the first draft pick, that's the only thing you got right from it ever since I came here. This is where the Damian Priest came in. This is where Nicholas the Ridiculous was like, oh joy, like Damian Priest, you finally came in. It seemed like that they finally squashed the beef between Balor and Priest, at least for now. And I was like, the good thing about this is he finally is on a roster that's away from Finn Balor. But the other hand, I kind of miss him on Raw because he just have that aura to stay on the show, if that makes sense, of course. But this is where we got, before he came in the room or the office, let me rephrase that. This is where Nicholas to refer him as a former world champion, and that world champion ended up being the Punisher, again. And Archer of Infamy. This is where he shook hands with him. This is where he's like, it's great to be on SmackDown. This is where Carmel, he's like, yeah, this is your opponent. This is where Carmel, he's like, yo, I don't, you stuttering. No, Like I didn't say nothing like that. That's where the Nick was ridiculous dismissed his denies and his denial statements and claims. That's where the Nick was ridiculous. Like, yeah, he would love to fight you tonight. That's where Damien Priest like, oh, really? Does he? Like, well, I'd like to fight you as well and see what you got because I never got a chance to fight you before. And this is where they finally end up going face to face in the square circle in WWE. And for those that watched the match, I want to ask you, Assassinators, what was your thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But and who you thought was going to win, which we're going to be answering that question as soon as we recap it. But this is where we got to the next match. And I know some of y'all are probably saying this is way too many matches. Like maybe this wasn't a smart idea to be 3 hours because it's going to be one way or another be find its way boring if it gets lost on the shuffles and loses its interest when it comes to the fans is their investment into them spectating, whether it's on TV or in attendance. But that's where Shaw Flair that was teasing the vignette with her saying that she was kind of sad that she was well, my kid. She was very sad that she was had to be on this long overdue setback like of her injury, and she's confirmed that. And she's been confirmed that she will be in the Women's Royal Rumble match with her saying like now I'm happy because I'm coming back, which she confirmed, which all the speculations are all dismissed and over. And the one place that we can expect her to make her Royal Rumble over the 30 women top rope battle royal contest at the February 1st edition of the show. But let me know in the comments down below what's your thoughts on WWE. And do you think they should have continued this teasing, even if it is obvious? But I think it was kind of obvious. I think even Triple H himself was thinking the same way. He was like, "What's the point of even mentioning or making these clues and riddles and messages and references? Like if everybody knows who obviously is this particular mystery return of a women's wrestler." But before we got into any matches, I apologize, Saturday. This is where we got another segment, and it was not really a boring one. It was actually very interesting. If you're very really into the storyline with Tiffany Stratton finally becoming the women's Money Bank briefcase, even though I was not sure at first, like it was a good time for her to cash in a briefcase, but it growing on to me. I was like, if she's gonna cash it in, it should be a time when everybody is at least expecting it. But this is where we got Tiffany Stratton was like, hello, everybody in Austin. Like, once again, like, I am the center of everybody's attention. And this is where the two like, because next week, like at the Royal Rumble, like there will be 30 different women will be fighting for the chance to face me. And I was like, well, that's the only partially of the women that's gonna be participating because who knows, like whoever that does win, they could choose for Rhea Ripley. But I'm not gonna get into that. But this is where we got Tiffany Stratton. But I am gonna get into like with Tiffany Stratton saying like he was like, yeah, last year's entry on the Royal Rumble, this is where then she was like, Bailey won and was the face of this division on this particular Raw, on this show. And this is where she was like, well, like now it's my time because I'm the face of this division and it's Tiffy time. And this is where then we got Rhea Ripley that came out. This is where then and when Rhea Ripley came out, I did a rub Tiffany Stratton, which you have two reasons why. Because one, she was thinking that she's entirely the center of the universe. Like when it comes to women's championship, and the decision of who should fight the champion, like whoever wins the Rumble contest. But yeah, this is where we got Rhea Ripley came out for that reason. And the second reason. Excuse me for a moment. anyways, and the second reason is because she want to send a message to Tiffany's former best friend that she manipulated, like a being, like to win the women's championship. I mean, but that's what Rhea Ripley did. They're like, yeah, I know you're a little bit new here, but I'm a women's champion too. Pointing out that she's not the only option for a women's championship. Whoever wins the women's bout is where they're like, Rhea Ripley's like, but I gotta say it, like in a minute. Yeah, I respect everything you did to Nia Jax, but I'm not gonna compare on what I'm gonna do to her tomorrow night at the SNME. Is where then. But speaking of not mentioning her by name, this is where Nia Jax came in. I totally forgot that Rhea Ripley came out of the blue. One, because Rhea Ripley's on Raw. Like, and I don't think that occurs to her at the moment. Unless if Tiffany Stratton's moving to Raw, if she's the WWE Women's Championship. But the reason why she came up because what Tiffany said about they're going to be facing only her. And also, I sent a message to Nia Jax. But this is where we got Nia Jax was like, yeah, I want to tell you, everybody in this arena, that this is an historical moment. As in the historical moment, this is where Nia Jax did say it because she's officially announced that she's entering the Women's Royal Rumble, and also claims that she's gonna win the Royal Rumble, and she's gonna take on, she's gonna beat Rhea Ripley, and she's also gonna challenge Tiffany Stratton. This is where Rhea Ripley was like, this is where she's like, and I think in less than 24 hours from now, Rhea Ripley is gonna take I'm gonna take your Women's World Championship. And this is where then she's like, I'm gonna win the World, and I'm gonna take that championship as rightfully mine, just like her cousin that was the men's version of that championship, which is known as the OTC. I almost said the wrong wrestler that has the initials as their nickname. I'm not talking about the one that used to be women's tag team champion with Naomi and $1 Million Bayley. But anyways, this is where then Nia Jax let her know that she's going to be double champion at the main event of WrestleMania. That's where Bianca Belair came in and then erupted along with Naomi, with them doing their very long dances that time probably took like 10 hours, not exactly, but probably like a good 2 minutes, which looks similar to Jeff Hardy when he was doing that dance where he's trying to save his brother when they were over at the other company when Jeff Hardy made his debut there. This is where we got Naomi's like, yeah, I know it's very quick with my CIL said, like, but I want to, I get a helping, like I'm officially entering the Royal Rumble with Bianca Belair. Like, what a funny coincidence because I'm gonna be officially into the Royal Rumble as well. They're gonna be like, if I don't win, but you're gonna win. But if you don't win, it'll be like, if I don't win, and Naomi gonna win. But this way Naomi's like, respond like right back at her, like in a with them kind of teasing that it is indeed Naomi that could attack Jay Cargill, like with them could be doing a split up at the Rumble. Like that's only if Jay Cargill makes a debut as well. But this is where we got Bianca. This is where Naomi didn't bark right back like she's agreeing with her like a childhood friend, like childhood friends that can agree on everything. They're like, well, you are. Well, she was like, I'm gonna win, but if I don't win, you're gonna win, Bianca. But that's where they all agree. That's where she agreed, and she was like, and that's when they both agreed on one thing for sure, and that Nia is definitely not gonna win. But that's where I got Liv Morgan, like this is when Liv Morgan's like, well, there's the There's the one. There's this. There's the Eradicator that barely won her title, but that lost her man to a real woman. And we got the Liv Morgan Doubleganger that's holding the other title that look way better on me as well. And she was like, "That's you, Tiffy." But her still sounding like an annoying teenage daughter from an adult animation sitcom. This is where we got Liv Morgan and continues she read the defend that she does not care that every woman has an man that because like when the women were arguing about who's going to be the women's Royal Rumble winner, except for with Bianca and Naomi with one another, which we all know that in the future that we but this one But it's what because they were teasing, and we could see betrayal with one another. Probably one of them eliminating the other, teasing some WrestleMania tensions, I guess you could say, with each other in a bout. But it's where Liv Morgan's like, it don't matter what you're arguing about because I don't care. Because you know what? Because the headliner, the future headliner is gonna win the Rumble. It's not gonna be any of you six, or not six. I mean, it's gonna be any of you four losers. Like it's gonna be me because yep, I officially announced that I'm gonna enter the Women's Royal Rumble. Anyway, then she said like, I'm gonna be the first ever woman to eliminate each and every one of the other 29 women. She was like, and this is where she continued to be so annoying and obnoxious when they're spinning her head around, which I was like, I don't think you should be doing that because somebody's probably going to decapitate it off, which somebody actually nearly did so. But that's when she was like, because Raquel, she was like, and Raquel Rodriguez gonna help me, gonna win the Women's Royal Rumble match. And you know why? Because I'm going to eliminate each and every woman onto that Rumble. This is where once she went directly in Rhea Ripley's direction. This is where she hit it with a big old devastating headbutt. This is where Rhea Ripley came. I mean, not I mean, she was already in the ring. This is where the Rhea Ripley hit a big devastating headbutt. This is where we got what's her name, Bianca Belair and Naomi we're doing it into the fire onto the heels with Tiffany Stratton and Brew out of there, which WWE did not want to make it look like that. She's quickly confirmed that she immediately a babyface. But she's still getting into it in that position. Okay, I'll get your slide. Excuse me for a moment. You want to get your shirt on because it is rather cold out there. Yes. Not in Daddy and Mommy's room. Why not be in the living room? Yeah, but you can't have this. I want Constantine. Okay. Why not out in the living room? Anyways, assassinators, I'm back here. This is where we got. Once the brawl was done with Rhea Ripley and Naomi and Bianca Belair were standing up tall. This is where we got Nicholas the Ridiculous was coming out there to confirm things, which Tiffany Stratton was right up into the stage because she's still more of a tweener character with her going like being in the program with heels and face. But this is where we got the Mobley family, like that. The Mobley family were in attendance on the Friday Night SmackDown show. This is where we got with them. We're on SmackDown. This is where we got Rhea Ripley started off with Candice LeRae, and I was like, "Yep, Nicholas the Ridiculous made the right decision." Which I was like, "Give this match the bronze trophy of the night automatically." It may not have been perfect, but sure as hell was really good, and it had me more excited on what to expect into the women's division of who's going to be facing who, because right now it's very, very clueless, I guess you could say. This is where we got Candice LeRae trying to go for a tornado DDT. This is where she gets intercepted by Rhea Ripley by a standing super, tagging Bianca Belair and Naomi. This is where in the middle drop kick onto what's her name to Nia Jax. This is where we got Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, since they're the strongest women in WWE. They picked up the glowing wrestler, started swinging him around forward and back, and a backflip onto her cousin-in-law. This is where she grab onto Candice's leg, but she gets pushed right to the upper left side. This is where she gets tagged. This is where we got Liv Morgan gets tagged in, but this is where Naomi didn't hurry up and tag it because for some reason she wanted to get her hands on Liv Morgan, when she just hit her with a flapjack generically, or she must have owed her something. This is where we get, or maybe even hit on Jimmy Uso, just like that other certain blondie that used to work in WWE that made Naomi jealous. But this is where once she got her down, is where she finally tagged in Bianca Belair, did a moonsault while what's her name or shooting star press while Naomi hit a leg drop. This is where we got Bianca Belair sends what's her name? Liv Morgan right to the bottom left side. This is where we got Candice LeRae trying to grapple to the EST's hair again for like the 30th time in a row. And she's starting to use that as her weakness ever since they have been feuding in SmackDown lately. This is where Bianca Belair got her right off, knocked her right off the top rope. This is where she hit the drop kick once. She hit a dodging moonsault over Liv Morgan. This is where we got Nia Jax going for with that runaway powered, what they call shoulder tackle, and start taunting the fans. And what else happened? But that's where we got Nia Jax was in control of this, where she tried, after the advert of the Powerful Force and all professional wrestling came on, but this is where she tried to go for running hip attack. Naomi kicks her right in the face. He tried to hit her with a schoolgirl, but this is where she gets denied at 2.3. This is where she tried attacking either Rhea or Bianca, but she ends up getting dismissed with an axe handle by her cousin-in-law. This is where we got Nia throws Naomi right to the bottom left and right side. She tags in her new right-hand woman, Candice LeRae. That's where we got Candice hit a jawbreaker. That's where we got Candice LeRae then try to go for what they call a rolling foot pinfall maneuver. That's where she tried to go for a pin, but Naomi kick out at 2.1, if I'm not mistaken. Is where we got Candice LeRae like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do to put her away? That's where then we got Liv Morgan and Nia were thinking suggestions, but she ends up getting swift kick by Naomi. This is where we got Candice LeRae with an axe handle. This is where we got a right hand to Rhea Ripley. This is where we got Candice LeRae going for a suplex on the Naomi, but Naomi go for a kick out right at 2.7. This is where we got Candice LeRae then put her right into the middle rope face first, right to the bottom right side. This is where then she started kicking on the back, and then neck first, or throat first, I should say, right to the middle term. Buckled is where we got our fans are chanting "Mommy," something that we never thought we would be hearing on a Blue Brand show anytime soon. But this is where we got Naomi hits a forearm strike. This is where she tried to get in the middle road, but this is where we got Candice Ray trying to hold on to the leg, trying to make her slip and put it. But this is where Naomi think quick and fast in a hurry with a springboard against a Geary. This is where she knocks out Candice LeRae, but this is where when she tried tagging Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax's big weasel ass, had to go trip over the mommy that she's gonna be facing in WWE Saturday Night's main event tomorrow night. This is where we got. This is where we got what's her name? Liv Morgan did the same to Bianca Belair face first, but this is where we got Naomi that hit some swift kicks on the both the Irresistible Force and the former women's world champion, along with a rally face buster in the middle ropes by the glowing wrestler. That won't be the last time we're going to be hearing the glow and on SmackDown tonight, which we're going to just say. But this is where we got Rhea Ripley. Finally got back in. She was very angry, like a very provoked bull. This is where she started hitting some repeated clotheslines onto the women's, on her arch rival, on the man stealing delinquent, I guess you could call her. But what else happened? But that's why we got them still. This is where Rhea Ripley started making a comeback onto Liv Morgan. And then finally tagged in Bianca Belair when the numbers advantage were getting too low for her. This is where Bianca Belair hits a running to the right side to her for a springboard moonsault. That's where she dug out of Liv Morgan's clothesline into being the spear. This is where we got Bianca Belair going for a pin, but this is where she gets interrupted, and this is where she would have gotten away with it sooner if it wasn't for that meddling Irresistible Force. This is where we got an envy head, but by Nia Jax onto her cousin on Naomi when she tried to go for a crossbody, what they call a face butter, but this is where Rhea Ripley kind of teased the riptide, but this is where it ended up not happening. It showed that a sign that we can expect that the Eradicator will retain at tomorrow night's event. But this is where we got Liv Morgan trying to go for a sleeper, but she ends up getting riptide right on top of Nia Jax, just picking her right up, scooping her right off her back. This is where Raquel Rodriguez tried to distract her and say, "Hey, you can't do that to my boss or my leader, or whatever she calls her." This is where she gets hit with a big old right hand by Ripley. This is where she gets cold breaker by Candice LeRae, trying to be a certain Canadian wrestler that's currently holding the world championship from the. But this is where we got Liv Morgan, then the trick on Bianca Belair when Bianca Belair tried to go for what they call a KOD. But this is where Liv Morgan somehow countered out of it, then hit it with a sunset flip into a surprise roll-up, which is kind of the most devastating move in the crucifix position for the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match, the heels of Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and Candice LeRae. And I was like, I cannot believe that they just actually won this match, but I think maybe it's because to show that Nia Jax is definitely not going to be is going to win. But this is where we got. But this is where we got moving on to the next one's called the. Chelsea Green was in the backstage in her locker room when she was asking Piper Niven where she been because we haven't seen her ever since they were in the arena. But this is where then. But before I get into that, I want to say that Tiffany Stratton, as much as I think that probably was a good idea that they did not have their team of Ripley, Bianca, and Naomi, because they're not sure if she's ready to be in the in the babyface side when it comes to being with alliances. Because he just kind of turned face, but she's still kind of a tweener side. Like, even though she did defeated Nia Jax, but not quite ready yet until that it's that time. But man, like, imagine like Tiffany Stratton and a team of Ripley and Bianca and Naomi. I'll say a dream team on SNA's bingo card of 2025. Like, despite not seeing Naomi or Bianca Belair turning heel very soon. But this is where we got. But this is where we got Chelsea Green was scolding Piper Niven a bit by saying, "Where has she been?" Like, yeah, like, has she never been like this before? This is where we got what's her name? B-Fab and answer her question real quick, saying like, "Yeah, you never seen like this before because you've probably seen that the math is finally where it's like the mathematics of the statistic like into this team like it's finally fair and even." Like, and we probably show you what would be like if you were facing good gals like us. And this is where Me Chin said, like, I recently spoke to Nicholas the Ridiculous earlier, and he said he'll be willing to give me one final time for that Women's United States Championship. And do you think that this will be like your finally becoming the Women's United States Championship? And do you think this would end with Chelsea Green being dethroned by the woman that she's been beefing with from the past few weeks, if not a month already? I'm not sure to say that, but let me know in the comments. It does leave out that very interesting cliffhanger, like what exactly is going to be going to transpire on the next 7 days on the Go Home show on SmackDown before Royal Rumble. But let me know what your opinions in the comments. But this is where I got DIY coming out because Johnny Gargano has a match with Apollo Crews, which I'm like, yeah, it's about time. Like, they're finally putting him in a role, like with him not being a bench warmer, like in catering, I should say. But this is where we saw WWE show why Apollo and Johnny Gargano are fighting though, because it's Johnny Gargano, like wants him to keep his name out of his mouth, but Nicholas the Ridiculous, I called the shots, so he gave him a match. This is where then we got Apollo Crews, got things started with Johnny Gargano to try and come in with confidence, but ends up getting standing suplex, had him standing for like 30 seconds straight. With Apollo Crews like, yeah, like that's for ambushing me from behind. This is where we got. This is where he Irish swim to the bottom course line. He slide ducks, then hits a drop kick onto the former Triple Crown NXT champion and current WWE Tag Team champion. This is where he drag over a crossbody onto Johnny Wrestling, but Johnny didn't drag over a baseball slide. But Apollo Crews moved right out of the way, hits a moonsault right onto the left corner side, like of the hardest part of the ring apron, but he used it as the stepping stool to hit him with a moonsault. But this is where we got Apollo Crews to try to go for a dive. But this is where Johnny Gargano counted out of the way. And then caught him right in the middle. Hits him with a super kick. Hits him cross right into his face. Johnny didn't try to go for a pin. But this is where we got Jessica Carr go for a 1. She go for a 2. But this is where we got Apollo Crews kick it out at 2.7. This is where Johnny Gargano's like, that's just been it. Like a sweet chin music. This is where it started. What's his name? Knee and Apollo Crews back, right in his face and throat, right into the ropes. Is where the road just car stop her, like, all right, stop it. But yeah, this is where we got. This is where then the distracted Jessica. This is where Johnny Gargano partner Tommaso hit a knee strike right to the face. This is where Apollo Crews hit a flying clothesline. This is where we got Apollo Crews and go for. This is where then they go for a gorilla press slam. This is where we got a moonsault right onto the middle of the ring. This is where she hits the standing moonsault to follow that up. This is where you only get the denying, I'll say, 2.3 if I'm not mistaken. This is where we got Johnny Gargano, then drapes, Apollo Crews right to the middle ropes. Then it's a backcracker, drape right to the bottom rope. This is where we try to go for a pin, but Jessica Carr only counted to 2.2, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Johnny Gargano was wondering what he needs to do. This is where we got. And Johnny Gargano was like, he had an ace up his sleeve, which I'm not sure he was actually telling the truth onto this, but let's just say he did. This is where he got to go for a strike. This is where we got Johnny Gargano go for a forearm strike right onto Apollo. And this is where he got to go for a knee strike, a big boot, but he ends up getting discus lariat by the tag team champ. This is where we got Johnny Gargano. He's waiting for Apollo Crews to go for the left side, try to go for a cross spear, but it's where then he hit one right to the left side, Johnny Gargano. Then was trying to go for a dive, distracting the referee in the process. Tommaso Ciampa hit him with a knee strike when the referee wasn't looking. This is where we got Johnny Gargano like, yeah, that's how you do it. This is where then Johnny Gargano's like, excellent work. This is where it ended up being Tommaso Ciampa pretending that he was clueless, but only for Tommaso Ciampa just hit an obvious ringside distraction or an in-ring attack or a ringside attack. What am I talking about? A ringside attack. Throws Apollo back in the ring. But this is where they end up getting distracted by the Motor City Machine Guns. This is where they gave Apollo Crews enough time to hit the most devastating move in professional wrestling, the surprise roll-up, which I thought this was not going to happen. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below about that. Like with DIY, like finally becoming, DIY to finally taking an L and I don't know when, probably in 2020, 2025, I guess you could say, but it wasn't Tommaso Ciampa, it was Johnny Gargano. And I like how the way they booked DIY, the tough tag team, like if they're going to be the top heel and the top champions. But what's your thoughts on this match? Let me know down in the comments down below. This is where we got Jacob Fatu to send a message to Braun Strowman like tomorrow more like the werewolf, like versus the wasp monster. And this is where we got Jacob Fatu like it's gonna be Godzilla versus King Kong, and you're not neither of them because I'm both. And I'm like, then why would you say King Kong versus Godzilla while comparing your match against the monster of all monsters? This is where Jacob Fatu was like, yeah, like he. This is where we got Jacob Fatu was like, yeah, because my boy Jacob Fatu, he's like, I'm gonna take you out like to Braun Strowman, like, and this is where then he's like, but tonight my man Tamatanga gonna face. Everybody says LA Knight, but no, everybody at the end of the night when my boy Tangaloa gets through with him, he's gonna be saying, yeah. I was like, and if that, I was thinking like, if the LA Knight's phrase, yeah, was not catchy, or let alone him even having it whatsoever, I don't think. Like if it wasn't that, I would say what does that even mean? That don't even make any sense, let alone. But this is where we got the match with Tama Tonga taking on the megastar former United States champion, which I would give this match Johnny Gargano versus Apollo. Even though it got the shocking of the night, it still gonna get a rating of a pretty decent, like at the fifth place red ribbon of the night. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on that match. But we move on to the next match, which was kind of boring, but not kind of boring. What am I talking about? Which that's what made it kind of boring, like with them dragging out like the story maybe a little bit too much. Maybe 2 hours was probably the better show, but maybe it's because I'm doing this real late at the same time. It's kind of was exhausting of doing the podcast on it this time, but I had some very important things that I need to do. That's why I didn't got a chance to do it exactly when it went off the air. But just give me for a moment. Hey, Bertie. Huh? Yeah, Sammy's in there trading. But anyways, assassinators. Looks pretty decent. It seemed like LA Knight didn't lose the United States Championship in the first place. Yeah, Bertie. But that's where we got Shane Gillis, like the comedian, was in attendance on the show. And Johnny Hensler from the comedy podcast Kill Joni was watching because he's a fan of WWE. Okay. But anyways, assassinators. But this is where we got LA Knight. And this is where we got LA Knight. Now cut my music before they begin. And where LA Knight didn't kind of promise that, let me talk to you. And this is where fans are saying, yeah, this is a man they call next up in the building of Austin. And their fans start saying, yeah, repeat. It's like, well, you cross what I have with, like I have hell to play. Yeah, because whatever you meddling werewolf in. And right hand man, like I would be, like, you know, I understand, like I didn't pick up on the top of everything, but you know what? That was an ass kick I was willing to take because I just got a little piece of poverty. And this is where he's like, but tonight, like I'm not gonna just get a piece. I'm gonna get a whole chunk because I'm a target. You rather hit the short straw because which that means Like what he said, like you're gonna get a BFT for your trouble. Like if you want to get your big fat head in here, like I'm gonna kick you so hard, like you won't be saying stopping the right there. Like it's like I'm gonna kick you so hard, you're not gonna stop the shit. You know, I'm gonna permanently give them to you. It's where LA Knight's like, it's where LA Knight's like, yeah, you. And it was like, and then you're going, and you, Tom, you're gonna get a one-way ticket of a complete endless stomp, right? Of a stomp of a beating for these fans' entertainment when everybody's saying LA Knight, yeah. And our fans are repeating, yeah, when LA Knight got started with punches left, right, left. This is where he gets hit with some strikes by Tamatanga himself. This is where we got him kneeing him right to the face, where we got LA Knight, then came back and knee him right to the head. This is where we got the Megastar start stomping onto him. But this is where we got LA Knight. It's catapult right onto what's his name to Tamatanga. This is where he then followed him right to the outside. He picks him up and hits the right hand like if he's a certain final boss. And this is where we got. This is where he threw Thomas' head right into the barricade. But this is where we got what's his name. Tama then threw Los Angeles Knight right to the upper left side of the barricade. That's where we got. This is where we got with that Tamatanga. He drag over a fallaway crossbite, but he gets flapjack by the Megastar. This is where LA Knight goes for a clothesline. This is where we got LA Knight then called him out of the ring. This is where LA Knight's like, I'll keep him busy for a little while. This is where LA Knight did his LA Knight pose. This is where we got the partial powerful force came on, which was the commercial break. What was it? It was. But anyways, this is where we got. Let's see what happened. It was once I got done with the advert. What was it that he did? What was it? But yeah, even for the advert came on, is where we got LA Knight was in control, which he might be, which the powerful force must be a huge fan of him or something like that. What was it? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think what happened next. I'm trying to. What was it? Making me look bad. Big time on this one. It's really making me look. Oh God. This is where we got. This is where we got what happened next. After LA Knight got him out, like with the powerful force, being off the air, this is where we got LA Knight was sort of in control until Tama Tonga then intercepted his pass and got in. And he was laying something standing right to the bottom, like facing LA Knight with his back turned onto the bottom right side. His revenge are chasing LA Knight because he's still a megastar. This is where we got. But this is where we got what's his name? Jacob Vatu, not Jacob Vatu, Tamatonga to go for a shoulder squeeze right on the LA Knight's shoulder. This is where he goes for a jumping DDT that he normally do, like if he's his version of Dolph Ziggler or the other guy, the other company. Well, he's going by his real name, Nick Limit, which I'm not hiding anything from him because he's not wrestling in the other company. But this is where we got. But this is where we got, what's his name, Tama Tonga, puts LA Knight right off the top rope. This is where he tries to go for a top rope maneuver. This is where he gets punched with the right hand by the megastar himself. This is where we got fans are chanting, yeah, every time he hits the strike. But when Tama Tonga starts hitting the right hand, this is where fans are booing like, boo, boo, boo. And LA Knight hits a big right hook right onto Tama Tonga, knocking him right back inside. But this is where he gets hit. This is where LA Knight gets hit right into the jaw by Tama Tonga. But LA Knight countered instantly, hits the face first right on, superplex facebuster right onto the middle of the ring. And LA Knight's like, LA Knight, yeah, hits a signature leaping elbow drop right onto the midsection, right onto the elbow, mixed in onto Tama Tonga. That's where then he hits the BF, try to go for blunt force trauma after. But that's where it didn't work the first time, but you know the rules of professional wrestling. It is the first match that had this rule because once he gets pushed right into Jacob Fatu, he hits him with a big old boot. But that's where we got LA Knight quickly get a win with a BFT, 1, 2, 3. Still look like he never lost the championship. I was like, what was the point of putting the title on the Shinsuke Nakamura? But that's when I started getting quiet at the end of the show because they finally showed the King of Strong Style. But Jacob Fatu, he came back in the ring and then just immediately attacks LA Knight and threw the poor man right over to the announce table and grabbed onto the entire chair and pulled it to the other side. Jacob Fatu then started hitting some repeated headbutts right on to what's his name? On the LA is where he tried to go for a moonsault, but it's where the big old SOB, the monster of all monsters himself came in. Is where then he was like, you want to dance again, Jake? This is where then he got in the ring. This is where Tama Tonga tried to come in and for the aid for Jacob. This is where it gets tossed right up right onto the audience, like if it's just like a normal fan completely getting annihilated from an unscripted wrestler. But the thing is, it was scripted. That's why fans are chanting their holy sugar honey iced tea chants. And yes, sir, man, they were muting it out because they still were on the broadcast channel, just like USA. This is where then we got both men start going at it. That's where we got Tama Tonga try to go for a distraction before they lay a single hand onto each other. That's where Braun Strowman nearly fought for it, but this is where he did not let his guard down because he moved right away when Jacob Fatu tried to come in with a splash attack. This is where Braun Strowman hits him in the clothesline, knock him into the left side. Braun Strowman's like, yeah, you may run now, but you won't be running tomorrow. But who do you think's going to win? Which big man is going to get a breath of? Let me know down in the comments below. But that's where they finally reveal who was the transfer to the Miz. The reason why. Now we finally did not insult our intelligence because this is where we got. What's his name? The Miz thought that that A-Town Down Under was the perfect guys to have his back, like a couple of goofy bodyguards, I guess you could say. It's where they're like, yeah, we're gonna run SmackDown and we're gonna be rich. And this is where Austin Theory was like, whoa, like yeah, I like the sound of that. But this is where Nicholas the Ridiculous came in and kind of ruined things for the Miz, like for him having an extra pair of muscles, like to help him out against his White Six problem. This is where he's like, I got 3 words for you, like pack your bags. And this is where he's like, because you're heading over to Monday Night Raw, because the Miz was the exchange like for was the exchange for I mean because 8 Town Down Under was the exchange for Raw for him to go to SmackDown. And this is where then the Miz was looking more stressed out and worried like this is going bad to worse. But what are your thoughts on this? And do you think he's gonna have no choice but to turn into a White Six member, or do you think the final testament is gonna be moved over to SmackDown as well, and they're gonna continue that feud over on the Friday nights rather than Monday nights? Let me know down in the comments down below. But next up, we got Damian Priest taking on Carmelo Hayes. I'll say this definitely deserved the silver trophy of the night because this was silver trophy. I would say actually the bronze trophy. I'm so sorry. When LA Knight and Tamataka get the silver trophy, let me right there because it just had that interesting match that even for being a little bit bored, like you're just sitting there and just letting time go by with matches still going, but still like it was something that you would get behind and be very interested in. But this is where we got Shinsuke Nakamura is that he said this United States title is still gonna be with me, but that's not enough because I'm gonna get into further heights. Shinsuke Nakamura will be going to the Royal Rumble, and then this is where Shinsuke Nakamura's like, yeah, just as I won before, I seized Victoria. I'm gonna seize Victoria again. And this is where then he sent everybody in the locker room a message to the SmackDown roster, like saying like you better watch out, or they will be met by the ghost of Christmas future, I guess you could say, yeah. Or more likely the ghost of wrestling future, because he's definitely going to be the one to finally right the wrong that was wronged back 7 years ago. You make a good point. Yeah, that means that she's in the North Pole. She was in a bikini contest. Let's see. But yeah, next up we got Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes. If this wasn't a squash match, I would say this was probably a dream match we needed on our bingo card that we not slided in because we were not sure if any of these guys are going to move over and switch rosters. But now, WWE showing this new era, anything is possible, and that's what the transfer window is going to prove right here to some of those doubters. But before I get into that, But this is where we got. But this is where, but before I get into the Carmelo versus Damian Priest match, this is where I would say, what are your thoughts on Shinsuke Nakamura making his long-awaited weeks of return, and also, what is your thoughts on him proclaiming and announcing his spot in the men's Royal Rumble match? Do you think he will break his history of being one of the dozen men to ever win 2 Royal Rumbles? And also, and if so, do you think he's going to finally go right the wrongs from 7 years ago? As much as I like to say yes to all that, I don't think that's going to be that year for him. But that's where we got Carmelo Hayes. It was completely getting dominated by Damian Priest with some stuff, and then Damian Priest version of an old school, like with him like doing a wrist lock and a crossbody while jumping off the top rope. But that's where once he got back in, got out in the right corner ringside area. That's where we saw the what's his name, Carmelo threw Damian right face first right into the ring post. And what else happened? Which the Powerful Force came on, which was a commercial break. Once the adverts came on, is where we got Carmelo Hayes was barely keeping up with Priest. Where Priest is striking him, but Carmelo Hayes managed to put what's the name of Damian Priest right over the left side, then in a cannonball right onto the Archer of Infamy. This is where we got the HIM wrestler. It pick up the Punisher. That's where he throws him right back in the ring. That's where it goes up right off the top rope. That's where Damian Priest waited for him to get up there so he could wait to go for a crossbody. But that's where he ends up hitting him anyways because I guess that he wants to make it fair for him, which I understand why. Like, even though he did not have any beef with him with the former NXT champion. But anyway, this is where we got Carmelo Hayes to go for. This is where we got Carmelo Hayes to start going for like an arm-hitting lock. But this is where Damian Priest then came right back as our fighter. This is where Damian Priest turned into the bad temper version of himself back 2-3 years ago. This is where, or actually 3 years ago, actually. This is where then he started hitting some punches, forearm strikes, discus boots, then a European uppercut. But this is where we got Damian Priest, then send him right to the bottom right side. This is where he goes for a clothesline, but he gets kneed right into the face. Damian Priest hit a Falcon Arrow right onto or a broken arrow, let me rephrase, excuse me, my bad, to Carmelo Hayes. Send him right to the upper left side. Hits a flying elbow drop. This is where then he hits the back slam backliner. This is where then Damian Priest try to go for a cover. This is where Carmelo Hayes kick out like at 2.6. This is where Damian Priest like, there's something I did wrong here, despite doing a guaranteed finish or signature actually. This is where we got Damian Priest gave a cool shout out to McConaughey because he's also a fan of the Archer of Infamy. That's where Damian Priest go for a springboard crossbody, but ends up getting super kicked right into the face. That's where we got Carmelo Hayes go for a springboard crossbody, but Damian Priest caught him, trying to go for a choke slam, but he gets wheelbarrow into a stunner like a by Carmelo Hayes. That's where the mellowed and tried to go for the flying cold breaker with him just jumping right onto the face, called the first 38, which was stated by the SmackDown commentator Joe Tessitore. But this is where he tried to go for a pin, but Damian Priest kicked out at 2.6. Or what, the 7? This is where then the Carmelo Hayes like, oh, that's why I'm not doing anything right, because I didn't land the nothing but net, but he did not get a chance to attempt to prove everybody that he don't miss. This is where then Damian Priest caught him, trying to go for self-evident chokeslam, but he gets hit with an inside cradle by Carmelo Hayes. That's where but he gets kicked out 2.8. This is where Damian Priest got back up immediately, runs himself right to the left side, hits a devastating clothesline. This is where I got Damian Priest hits self-evident chokeslam because it wasn't guaranteed, by the way. Gets the 1, 2, 3, winner of his match, Damian Priest. And a humongous congratulations and an awesome SmackDown debut. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time Damian Priest wrestled on SmackDown. But I think he's the guy that was exchanged for. He was exchanged for Bailey. This like with WWE pointing out, like he's exchanged for Bailey, while A-Town Down Under is the exchange for the Miz. But this is where then Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa going off on Nicholas the Ridiculous. This is where it was like, yeah, like you just love giving them opportunities, even though they didn't do anything as much as we do, quite frankly. But this is where the most machine guns came in. This is where Tommaso Ciampa went out, here's your buddies, Nicholas. This is where then most machine guns like, how about a surprise? Like, how about you? They're like, how about we do a rematch? This time it will be a 2 out of 3 falls match. And even though Nicholas did not confirm things, make it official, but we all knew that what answer he's gonna be stating, with this humongous challenge, which was a 2 out of 3 fall. Which the Motor City Machine Guns thought this was gonna make Johnny feel better because that's more of his type of match. This is where Johnny Gargano's like, start getting angry. He's like, see, this gets bad, the worse, Tommaso. This is where they left the building out of frustration. And who do you think is going to win that contest? Do you think it will be the reigning defending champs, or do you think it's time for DIY to be dethroned once and for all? Let me know in the comments. But this is where we got the golden trophy match of the night. And that was my boy, the prize fighter, and my other boy, Jimbo Uso. Main event Jimbo Uso, I should say. This is where we saw Kevin Owens put on his wrist tape, so he could get ready to get out there. This is where we got... But this is where we got... But anyways, this Kevin gets the golden trophy of the night. And it was like I said earlier, but the only thing different is that Jimbo probably got more hit harder than Mysterio did last week. Which was absolutely true, by the way. But this is where we got a couple of guys that currently reside and that were from Texas that used to wrestle in WWE. First, Michelle McCool, and then second, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. But this is where we got Damian Priest. I was walking back to his locker room. But this is where we got Cody Rhodes came in and run into him. This is where Damian Priest like, hey, Cody, man. This is where Cody Rhodes like, what a night. This is where Damian Priest like, is that right? And this is where Cody Rhodes like, well, this is where he's like, well, I don't know about that, but I want to welcome you here on the Blue Brand. But this is where Damian Priest teased see you soon, champ, by stating that while Cody Rhodes left. Kind of teasing that they could be battling over for that belt. And Damian Priest is no stranger when it comes to winning World Championship gold, because considering him winning the World Heavyweight Championship over in the Monday Night Raw brand. But let me know in the comments down below, when do you think that may be? But this is where we got Shawn Michaels didn't send a tweet on X about his working duties of making sure everything don't turn into physicality related. And this is where I also mentioned that Jesse the Body Ventura is going to be there as well. So there's going to be plenty of legendary wrestlers that know plenty about the Saturday night's event. But except for one certain immortal wrestler, and his name is Hulk Hogan, and they claim it's for family reasons, which I kind of believe, but at the same time, who knows? I think maybe this probably does have something. I don't know. Some might think that it does have something to do with that controversial segment back on Raw and Netflix. But let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got the match. Well, this is where we got the match nearly started. But once Jimmy Uso was not even halfway from the squared circle, this is where he gets attacked from behind. Well, before I get into that, this is where he ran into Carmelo Hayes before he got into gorilla position. This is where Carmelo Hayes claimed that he owed him a match. This is where we got main event Jimbo Uso did the little this with his arms rubbing some off his arm, and then did his version of the short version of the Yeet chant. This is where Carmelo Hayes didn't storm out there until he went right behind him. As soon as he went right into Gorilla and right to the entrance, with Carmelo Hayes waiting for the perfect time to look like he's about to rob and mug him. This is where he attacks him. This is where they start going at it. But luckily, the security and the referees were there to break up the fight. With the referees point out to go to the ring and and get things started with the prize fighter. And yeah, this match was yeah was totally okay was totally good, and I hope there's plenty of more good matches for both men in the future, even though they're facing different other wrestlers that's on the roster. And one thing for sure, I hope that Jimmy Uso does get a shot in the singles division, just like his brother. Like with him adding the Intercontinental Championship in his resume. Hopefully, he becomes world champion one day, even if it's not tomorrow. Let's. But this is where we got Kevin Owens start talking trash to wasn't that Joe Tessitore. They're like, "Oh, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say about bad about me?" But this is where we saw Kevin Owens kind of had a glowing shirt, and literally, and I was like, "Oh no, like he's totally marking on my other boy Jimbo." Like, yeah, I was like, if I was Kevin Owens, I would have done the same thing. Considering if I know anything about the wrestler's like personal life, and especially like if that wrestler's wife happens to be a wrestler in the exact same company, like I would do some stuff like this if I was a heel. But anyway, this is where we got Kevin Owens was saying oh, like you're gonna talk trash about me, but I'm behind me. You might as well do it right in front of me. Here's what joke that do. I'm not talking about nothing. Like I'm just here doing my job, being a professional journalist. And this is where then Kevin Owens like you're not quite evidently being one. By the way, this where then we got Jey Uso's like, yeah, it's like he's like, yeah, he's doing it again. Somebody better call Britney Spears. And this where he had to pick her up because he's like, you talk too damn much. And this where then he try to hit some offensive moves on him until he gets striked right into he get nailed with a slam right to the top court side. Then spear him right to the bottom left side. Then Kevin Owens then I went from the bottom left side to the upper right side. Diagonally, this is where Kevin Owens hit him so hard. This is where then Kevin Owens is like, he's like, see how strong I am? I got very power, baby. And I got to admit, from the last couple of years, I noticed a very phenomenal drastic change, and I mean that with a compliment, with him being so ripped and have more muscle than he ever had before. But that's where he threw him right to the bottom left side. Kudos to Jimmy Uso. Sound is like if somebody's like just completely murdering him, like with all kinds of weapons that he found in his that he could possibly find in his kitchen. But this is where we got Kevin Owens to start stomping right onto the midsection. Then going for. This is where it's like, what was that, people? Like, why are you talking about Jimbo? This is where he's like, well, like, I will give you your Jimbo. Like as soon as I get done with him, this is where he's trying to dodge him to the upper right course line. I believe Jimmy Uso paid tribute to his new ally, Cody Rhodes, his mentor, Randy Orton, which he had a big devastating clothesline. This is where he tried to go for a running hip attack, which he was in the upper right course line. But it's where Kevin Owens moved out of the way. This is where we got Jimmy Uso hit the very devastating clothesline onto the prize fighter right over Al in the announce table. But yeah, but anyways. This is where we got the main event. Jimbo Uso throws Kevin Owens right to the left side. This is where he started doing his version of the Yeet Wave, which I think he should have come up with a little bit of a better name. But it is very catchy the way he does it. But maybe he should call it something else that starts a letter Y, like even if it's yeesh or yesh, yes so, yes so. I think it's probably a better term to use the term yes so. Yeah, yes so Uso. But it's where we got Kevin Owens and hits what maneuver was it like? This is where it's the shoulder tackle we got whipped by Jimbo. This is where Jimmy Uso right to the top course line. He gets the try. This is where Jimmy Uso try to go for a sliding duck, but this is where Kevin Owens intercepted by got Stentot. This is where he was like, feel the glow, like get it. And this is where Jimmy Uso probably did not like that, but he was too much in pain for him to do something about it. This is where Kevin Owens started stomping on him. He knew that was going to get under his skin. He started poking fun at him for a little bit until Kevin Owens then started spearing him right in the midsection, right to the bottom left side. This is where we got the referee's like, all right, stop it. 1, 2, 3. And this is where Kevin Owens like, okay. Like, I'm stopping. And this is where Kevin Owens throws, what's his name, Jimmy Uso, right to the upper right corner. He was like, yeah, that was very brutal and dangerous and frightening, wasn't it, Joe? And you too, Matthew. And this is where this is where Joe Testator was like, yeah, like I see that you do with KO. This is where the prize fighter hit a right hand right into the face onto to Jimmy Uso, throws Jimmy Uso right into the bottom left side, hits him face first, like boom! And that's where then Kevin Owens picks up, what's his name? Jimbo, main event Jimbo. This is where he started squeezing, started choking him. Like, I got surrender now. This is where the referee's like, no, you can't be doing a submission right here on the ropes. It's illegal. This is where he's like, you got 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3. This is where we got Jimmy Uso, and barely got back up.
Anymore because it's dead.
That's because you need to charge the tray, you. But this is where we got Jimmy.
You might want off the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom said that. And
Can you charge this?
might get stronger in the butt. Hi, Joanne. I stayed in the car, but it wasn't mine now.
Okay. Here you go. Here's your microphone.
Oh, Mommy. Mine's not going to mess with my phone.
Okay.
There's no roll up over there.
I know. That's what I put right here.
Yeah, right there.
All right. But anyways, I'm back here without any further delay. Here's where we got Kevin Owens anyways. He hit the elbow strike. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Then we got the powerful force in all professional wrestling. Then they got a commercial break. He was there in the ringside. The Kevin Owens and a running senton on to Jimbo. And where we go. It's completely just stomping onto him everywhere. He crawls them. Here's where we got Kevin Owens. It picks up.
Mommy's on the camera.
Huh?
She's talking to me. Julian, can you show Mommy's daddy's?
Oh, okay. I turn off the windows. Yeah, excuse me for a moment.
Mommy, daddy's, because I think it's cold in there.
Okay, I'm gonna shut off the windows.
And Mommy, daddy's. And Mommy and daddy's.
Okay, I'm turning off.
Two of them. Because it's very cold.
Okay, let's I got you. Sure, no problem. I'm glad to do that right now.
Mommy, thank you. I love you. Mommy. Okay, you're welcome. I love you. But Mommy, are you coming home? Are you coming home? Mommy. Yes, why are you hungry?
It's possible to make your body a little better. I know.
I'm not eating my water.
I can play better. I'm so good. Anytime, yeah, glad to help. All right, I shut it by all the windows.
And mine too, Mom.
Good change, yeah.
Oh, the points.
Oh yeah, obviously, of course. All right, tell mommy bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Shut the clock. We forgot
No.
to shut the clock.
Not anymore.
We forgot.
No, I tried already shut the ones in the living room.
But we like, I said, do it. We forgot to close the blinds.
Yeah.
We forgot to close the blinds.
Sorry, swallowed wrong down the wrong hole. Anyways, let's continue. But this is where we got Kevin Owens continuing to go for a sleeper onto Jimmy Uso. This is where we got. This is where we got Kevin Owens to go for a headlock into a sleeper. This is where we got. It's where trying to hit every single maneuver they can think of, but he can't. Jimmy Uso always keep kicked out of this. Where we got Jimmy Uso trying to go for super kick. Kevin Owens dodges, sitting right to the corner, trying to go for cannonball. Jimmy Uso move out of the way. Smart move from Jimbo. That's where we got both men barely got back up, probably by the count of 4. Where Jimmy Uso drawing first blood by trying to go for like a suplex or DDT, but it's where Kevin Owens countered out of it. Is where Kevin Owens like come here, Jimbo. Yeah, you're gonna see what happens if you do cross the prize fight. This is where try to go for the stunner, but it's where we got Jimmy Uso trying to go for another super kick. But I believe it was double curse, but once Jimmy Uso bounced right to the left side, but Kevin Owens pushing him right to the side. It's where he must about the third time the charm card, so because he used it in a super kick on the Jimmy Uso, but then did not put him away. No way, it was Kevin Owens in the super kick first, but Jimmy Uso did the super kick right back at Kevin. But this is where we got. This is where Jimmy Uso hit another super kick onto the Kevin Owens. He nearly got him, but only got him at 2.8.9. And then Jimmy Uso, like, how's that possible? But this is where we got Jimmy Uso got back up his feet eventually. This is where we got Jimmy Uso to try to go for what they call a spear, but he goes kicking right to the gut, try to go for a stunner. But this is where he was double cursed himself. This is where we got Jimmy Uso then turn into his brother Jay Uso and his cousin, the Tribal Chief himself, with a spear. This is where he nearly finished him off with a Uso splash. But this is where we got Kevin Owens got onto the right to the right, rips him down, hits him face first right to the top apron. This is where Kevin threw Jimmy Uso shoulder first right to the bottom left side. Kevin Owens threw him right to the left side. And up the bottom right side. Then went right towards the left side. Hit a pop-up powerbomb, which has been giving him some match finishes lately. First it was with Rey Mysterio. Now it's with Jimmy Uso. Like it seems like they're starting bringing it back as a very powerful and dominant maneuver, just like it used to be. But this is where we got Kevin Owens nearly pile driver Jimmy Uso right after the match before. But this is where he told Matthew McConaughey, "Oh, clear things off to the announce table." This is where he's like, "Watch this to the American Nightmare." But this is where we got. But this is where we got Cody Rhodes came out before Kevin Owens didn't even hit his devastating maneuver, not the devastating, I'll say the most brutal move in professional wrestling, and that especially when it comes to the neck. Speaking of the neck, my neck is killing me right now. This is where we got KO'd and go for a power driver onto Jimmy Uso, but this is where Cody Rhodes came right in time. Then gave him a beating that he's probably not going to soon to forget. This was doing right to the left side. This when they were fighting, even though they were going off the air. And then the producers, the security guards, and referees were not there till the last minute. That's how Friday Night SmackDown ended, like with them in the ringside, just beating the holy death out of each other. And then they're finally going to extend their titles right off the hooks to see who's really the WWE champion. But that's what I'm going to do right now. Like with all my prediction that's going to be happening. I'm going to start things with what they call today. Oh no, before I get into that, I would say that was it for now, and let me know in the comments what we thought about the show. I would give it honestly, except for it being a bit too long. It was absolutely entertaining. I would say I'll give it about. I didn't really see nothing wrong. Like, the only thing that leads into the next is what's going to be different about the SmackDown roster now that SmackDown is 3 hours. They need some extra wrestlers on the roster, but they kind of downgrade with the Miz for exchanging him for A-Town Down Under. Maybe they should have gotten a tag team that's not being utilized on Raw, like maybe the WO's Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro. Maybe they could be added into the Legado del Fantasma family again, and maybe we have Los Garza be the babyface team. And maybe they'll be even teaming with Andrade as a trio, and they can go after the family of Legado. But just saying, just add some fuel to the fire, like of excitement and must-needed things in the promotion. Blue Show. But anyways, yeah. But let me know in the comments what you thought about SmackDown tonight. And also, this is where it's going to lead me to the predictions segment I'm going to be doing right here. We're going to be talking about who I think is going to be walking out as the winner, whether it's for a championship or not a title match, who's going to be walking out as champion or pride, or for bragging rights or whatever the feud makes sense into. But we're going to start things out with Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. And I think this is definitely going to be a Godzilla versus King Kong fight. Like with them just beating the holy hell out of each other. And even if it's a disqualification match, that will not stop them from destroying every single item that are in the ringside area. And maybe even the whole ring. Maybe this will turn into like a Brock Lesnar, that former UFC heavyweight champion guy that's in trouble with legal actions right now that we could have mentioned in WWE. And also that 7-foot whale that I can also mention because he's in the other company in Gorilla with that Anthony guy as a promoter of that company. And also we got and what else? And they look like 7-foot whale and Mark Henry on that match back 14 years ago as well. But enough to talk about what happened in yesteryears. Let's talk about what's going to be happening in the next day of this year. But yeah, we're gonna start things off. They're gonna tear the house down, and it looks like Braun Strowman could win, right? Finally, in the reign of horror of the Samoan werewolf. But yet that he thought he slayed the wolf, like he's gonna be attacked from behind, get bitten by the neck. Well, not literally, just figuratively. But it's where he gets attacked, hits him with a super kick, and then he'll hit him with a very, very, very most, I'll say, dumb. I'll say the most, not really devastating, more likely the most annihilating moonsault that I've ever seen him perform in WWE or any wrestling company that is. I would say that he'll do that, like whether if it's on the table or not, or maybe even a cool spot right on down in the announce table, which like whoever the commentator's gonna be, like probably Joe Tessitore or Michael Cole, like probably be asking for another table. Just like on the episode of Scooby Doo on the Mystery of to WrestleMania episode, like where somebody got thrown to a table and Michael Cole said, "Somebody give me a table here," which will be something similar to that. But at the end of the day, like we're gonna be seeing Jacob Fatu continuing how dominant and how strong and how powerful he is right now. So yeah, he definitely needs this win right now, and he should definitely be rarely losing, like only in rare occasions when he's fighting like a main event caliber wrestler from time to time. But Braun Strowman is in that category, well, or at least he used to. I don't know, but my final prediction: Jacob Fatu wins and becomes the winner. And next up, we got the Intercontinental Championship match. And y'all know like what I feel about this one. Like, and as much as I would like to see the Celtic Warrior himself finally achieve his dream and finish his story of becoming an Ultimate Grand Slam champion, beating Braun Breaker, I would say I'm 50-50 sure. Like, I'm 50-50 sure and 50-50 unsure about the chances of him winning. Because on one half of me, I say like, no, like they should wait until WrestleMania or maybe in a higher stakes pay-per-view. Or and then the other half is saying like, yes, like I don't want them to pull the trigger now because in the stipulation that states that if Sheamus loses, he'll never compete for the Intercontinental Championship. But I think it could go both ways. Like it could go either way. Like I would say not both ways and but at the same time, but like it could go either way. Like we could see like Sheamus could win, or maybe we could see a storyline from this where Sheamus will find a way to get a shot at the Intercontinental Champion again. Like I'm not sure about winning the Royal Rumble though, because that's in the compartment for somebody's going to win, going to challenge for a world championship. Someone like Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, what's his name, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, even. I think it's going to be one of them that could win. Before I would believe that Sheamus would, but I hope I don't regret this because now think about the stipulation that they were said like with Braun Breaker, like convinced him like to make it look like he's about to retire by saying that like you better like if you lose you will never get a shot at the title. And if that is indeed in case and there's no future of him winning the Intercontinental Championship very soon, maybe I'd say Sheamus could pull a sucky move and retain here. I'm not retain, gain the championship here. I pulled the unthinkable and the impossible, like how main event Jey Uso did against Braun Breaker about a few months ago, back in September. And I think it's going to be with Sheamus going to hit like multiple bro kicks after getting like hitting the avalanche white noise off the top rope. Saying Sheamus will probably shout, "Brother, fella!" Don't get me wrong, like he's not gonna smush him like a bug. More rather, Braun Breaker's gonna be fast as a rabbit and a road runner and a mouse like combined into one. Like this where he'll be going fast. He'll be going tough and strong as a gorilla and what's that, an elephant. And he's going to do everything he can to retain. Only for Sheamus to go get close near falls after near falls. And Sheamus is going to bring back some banger after banger after banger after bangers. And this is where we can see Sheamus finally hit that third bro kick, get the 1, 2, 3, and finally achieve his accomplishments of finally becoming the Ultimate Grand Slam champion as your new Intercontinental champion. My final prediction, Sheamus retains the Intercontinental. What's it retain? Sorry, Assassinators. It's not Braun Breaker. Like, my final prediction, Sheamus is gonna regain. I'm not regain. He never held it. What am I talking about? He's gonna gain and become the new Intercontinental Champion and finally achieve his dream and finish this story. Well, let's move on to the next slide. But next up we got the Women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. And Nia Jax will probably do pretty much everything. This will be kind of like basically a 2024 Elimination Chamber rematch, but this time Rhea Ripley is as the babyface into this rivalry, even though it's more short term than it was the last time. But I hope they just get to the point, which I think that's what they would do, but do some taunting maneuvers by mocking each other with everything that they have history with from the last 12 months. This is where we can see Nia Jax we could do a pretty cool spot with Nia Jax, hit the Annihilator onto Rhea Ripley, and that's where Rhea Ripley get kick out the final stage. Okay, we got this now. Oh, okay.
Maybe I should not, but yes.
Which one do you want to do? I guess it's up to you.
Maybe yeah, I guess.
Okay. Hopefully I'm not
Maybe my mommy won't be mad.
Maybe. But who knows?
Maybe she won't, I guess.
But then again, maybe won't. But yeah, Assassinators.
She won't be mad, I guess.
Maybe they won't be even paying attention. Unless she does by looking in, but I'm not sure if she'll mind or not. But if I was you, I'll have a couple of these. And I eat them all at once.
But, Jordan, watch me do something with this. I'll do this.
Okay. That's funny.
Jordan, let me do it. Let me do it.
Okay. No, don't take the whole can. Okay. Put it in your hand.
No, I want to do this.
Okay. Do it.
No, what this? I want this inside and put this on and do this.
I said no, you don't. Get back though.
I can do this. Can you?
Okay.
See? Okay, why?
Anyway, Assassinators.
Watch me do what?
What did you do?
I'm not sure on yours.
Okay, made your point. Okay. Couple more. Make sure you don't eat the whole thing. Okay, be careful. But yeah. My final prediction. Oh no, before I get, we can see a pretty cool spot where Nia Jax can hit an Annihilator. Right onto something, whether it's the ropes, or even right to a table. Even though it's not no DQ, but still wouldn't get disqualified for knocking your opponent right to a table. As long as they don't swing it at him. But yeah, this is where we got Nia Jax to do that. Something like that, I should say. Well, Rhea Ripley kick out at the last second of 2.99999 double triple miles point away from you. And even the Avalanche Samoan drop. And this is where we see Nia Jax. could try it again, but you probably forgot the rules. Like lightning does not strike twice, and with Rhea Ripley will hit the riptide right onto the top rope in the avalanche out of the counter. Got that pretty cool spot. Probably be the highlight of the night. My final prediction: Rhea Ripley retains and wins in this match, and then still be the reigning defending women's world champion. But next up, we got the WWE World Heavyweight Champion with Gunther between Jey Uso, and this will probably be a close one, with Jey Uso proving that he's more than just a side act and a tag team and a what's it called, a mascot or even a circus clown. And he's more serious than Gunther has ever been. That's why we're hitting him with every single maneuver. That looked like you would have assumed that he would win. Like if we weren't expecting it to be the lean. Yeah, no hell. And where we can see Gunther do some pretty cool spots. There'll be some near fall. And I think this match should be happening before like the segment between Shawn Michaels, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes, where they sign the contracts and extend their belts right onto the hood. This is where we see Jey Uso will find a way to accidentally screw himself up, which Gunther will probably take advantage of, hit him with the missile drop kick, or even a big, powerful knife-edge chop, like if he's doing it to someone from the other company that mocks him with that maneuver, which I'll be getting to in just a moment. And this is where we can see Gunther hit the Gunther bomb, 1, 2, 3, and still your World Heavyweight Champion. And my final prediction, Gunther retains and wins. But next up, we got the segment that's possibly gonna close out the night, and it is Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and they're face to face, like contract signing, titles extended right to the hook segment with the special guest and the enforcer Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Cody Rhodes already mentioned that he's not going to be very difficult to the Heartbreak Kid. But what about the prize fighter? But considering he's a heel, and he kind of screwed, if not, he totally screwed, like his idol, the Hitman, which he'll probably bring it up. He's probably going to say, and it was his exact championship, as a matter of fact, back over almost 28 years, actually. So I'm not going to, and if Brett doesn't trust you, I sure as hell don't trust you or Cody. But the reason why I'm doing it is to prove a point, and then proving, exposing Cody that he's nothing more than a comedic and a pushover champion or whatnot. That's where they'll agree to put their titles up, right up onto the hooks, right? So we can stand up into the ceiling, so be ready for the next 7 days. That's where we can see them agreeing to sign a contract. Because they said that because I left the other side. And now Cody Rhodes is confirmed he's going to sign because Shawn Michaels is a man that's bringing in the future generations on the NXT brand of being the head writer and also head booker, I should say. And also they share plenty of things in common, like with them both winning back-to-back 2 WrestleManias in a row. One of the two, that's one of the few guys that he knows that they achieved this accomplishment. And also we got, what was happening? It was Rome. And it was, what's his name? Cody Rhodes. What's that? Then, Cody Rhodes and said, of course you'll trust. Now we'll convince Kevin Owens to sign a contract because it's going to guarantee him a fight for those titles. And who's your prediction for next week's prediction segment next week on who's going to win that title? Which I got plenty of ventures to share with you, but I'm going to probably save it until the next, I don't know how many hours, more likely I'm just going to say 7 days. But that'll be it for now, Assassinators. And let me know in the comments. But before I say my goodbyes, I want to say, I also want to throw in that Kevin Owens will probably defy the rules of no physicality, only for Cody Rhodes to come back and send the crowd home happy with a very picture-perfect crossroads. Somebody say that definitely shows that Kevin Owens could win, but for 2 reasons, that's not going to be the case. Because one, because we got the SmackDown before the Royal Rumble. So whoever Kevin Owens does to him on that show, we're definitely gonna be probably the other way around. And secondly, we're gonna what was that? Second reason is because second reason Cody Rhodes will get away with this because he got humiliated and attacked from the last Saturday night's main event. And the best thing to do this is to get some sweet revenge on here and show and try to expose Owens of a fraud champion that he is. But we're gonna find that out later on, in the next couple of days. Actually, pretty much more over a week, considering it's still Friday, if not Saturday. I think it's already Saturday. Yeah, way past the time that it turns Saturday. But yeah, let me know what your predictions are for both Saturday night's main event and the Royal Rumble. Let me know who's going to be winning whatever match that's available on the card for both shows back to back. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. Consider hitting the subscribe and post notification bell for more wrestling videos. And I probably would have gave this the perfect 5 if it wasn't a bit too long, in a way that would feel like if it's dragged out, if it's just me, or just basically like that. But let me know in the comment section right down below what your opinions are. But yeah. I'm gonna call the podcast and hit the hay very soon. But yeah. But before I do, I want to say, make sure to check out my AEW Dynamite. I done my Collision review along with my Saturday night's main event review, which I will be doing back-to-back videos tomorrow, along with the wrestling news in the afternoon, where I'm talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Wrestle Talk article. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And I guess that'll be it for tonight. And I hope that y'all have a safe and fun rest of your weekend, start of the weekend night. And I'll see you all in the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye-bye, my assassinators. Y'all take care and have a wonderful and a magnificent and phenomenal Friday night. And I'll see you guys soon, probably bright and early, maybe not. But with more stuff in the world of professional wrestling. And then after that, on Sunday, I got AFC and NFC Championship. I'm pretty pumped and hyped for that. But yeah, make sure to check out all that stuff in the world of wrestling and football. I'm so excited and I'm so glad that I'm both a fan of all stuff I'm talking about here on the SNA podcast. But yeah, until we meet next time, peace. Bye-bye. And yeah, and make sure to stay good to yourself because you are all worth it. And you're going to be destined for excellence in your future, no matter what dream that you want to accomplish. And better believe that. Bye-bye.